Hi, my name is Tatiana. Welcome to my channel, Created by Lady T. And for this month's project, for the crochet project, I am going to teach you how to make this wonderful tote bag that is crocheted. And it has these handles. They're plastic handles, but inside it's also fully lined. And the lining is optional, so you can line the bag or you can leave it as it is. This is a great market tote that you can take to the grocery store, or you can actually use it as a purse. You can use it, you can make it with any color yarn that you choose. I chose this retro 70s kind of look because I thought it looked kind of cool with the orange, and that it was bursting with a lot of positive energy for the summer. And I did this using sugar and cream yarn, and it's because it's a little thicker and it holds the weight of the bag just far better than just regular soft yarn that you would use for a shawl or for a blanket. So you want something a little more sturdy. So that's why I chose the sugar and cream. And what I like about the sugar and cream is that it comes in such a variety of colors that you can choose from. And you can use to create lots of different things besides a handbag. But again, I think it's up to you. I'll show you how to crochet this granny square. It's made with two granny squares, front and back, and the sides are crocheted in single crochet, and then the top is half double crochet and single crochet. And it's not that time consuming, and you can pretty much finish it in a weekend. So I will show you how to create this bag. Okay, we're going to start with making a basic granny square. And for the granny square, I'm going to use 3 balls of yarn, which is the sugar and cream. And I'm going to do 3 rows of this one, and I'm going to start with this. And then I'm going to do 3 rows of this, and then I'm going to do 3 rows of this one. So I'll have a total of 9 rows for my granny square bag and for my basic granny square. So to get the granny square started, this is just a basic granny square. It's nothing special. You could do this with a different type of granny square, but I just love this because it goes really fast, and it's fun, and it's not very time consuming, and it just grows really quickly. So you take a slip knot like this, you make a little knot. This is how I do my slip knots, and I'm just showing you, this is probably the easiest way to do it. So you've got the knot on the hook, and I chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got 4 in a chain, and then I make a little round, and so then I get this, and I have a little circle. Now in this circle, I am going to do I'm going to do 4 sets of 3 double crochets. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first one is you're going to do chain 3, which counts as the first double crochet, like that. Then I'm going to do 2 double crochets in the circle. I guess some people call this a magic circle. I don't know. I just call it a circle. So there's 3. So this is a total of 3 double crochets, just like that. Then I do a chain 1, and then in the circle again I do 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, like so. Okay, then I do another chain, and then I do another 3 double crochets. And you could kind of crochet in your tail if you like. I do that all the time. So it's 3, chain 1. Okay, no. So it's beginning to form kind of like a square. Now we do another chain, another three double crochets. 1, 2, 3, like so. Okay, and then you do chain 1. Okay, so then you slip stitch in the 3rd chain from the first hook. So that's 1, 2, 3, and you slip stitch over this way. And then you have a little, kind of like a little beginning of a little square. So then the next row, what you're going to do is you're going to start working in these chain 1 spaces. So what I do is that first row, that chain 1 space, even though my loop is here, I go back in here and now we're going to, again, we're going to slip stitch and we're going to chain 3. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then 2 double crochet, 1, and 2. Now we're working in that chain 1 space. So I'm just reminding you that. Okay, and then chain 1. And then again in that same space, we're going to do another 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there we go. We've got our first quarter. So again, now we're going to work in this chain 1 space. We're going to do 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And then chain 1. And then in the same space, do another 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Like so, see? There you got half of it done. Okay, so then you're going to go in that other chain 1 space. So as long as you're being aware that you're going into the chain 1 spaces, and how do you find the chain 1 space? You just count 3. You just count these 3 sets that you did the previous row, and then you just go after the 3rd one. So we're going to do another set in there. Sorry. 3 double crochets on chain 1. So 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then you chain 1. Now we're going to do our final one here, which will be 1 right in here. We're going to work right in here. One, 2, 3, chain 1, and then 3 more. 1, 2, and 3, and then chain 1, and then slip stitch in the 3rd chain from the 1st row. So that's 1, 2, 3, and you will slit stitch right in here. This is a very easy basic granny square, common knowledge granny square. So what you have is you've got this. So we're going to do one more row of this, but I just want to kind of recap what we did. So that this first row, we did 3 double crochets and chain 1 4 times. So that's 12. And then this row, we did 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet in each of these sets. We made little clusters out of them. So we went from 12 to 24. Now we're going to continue and we're going to add. So now we're going to start working in these corners, and we're going to work here. So this is going to be my final row of this color, and I'll show you how to change the color as well. So, okay, now I am going to slip stitch. We always just do the slip stitch chain 3 at the beginning of a new row. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 double crochet, 1, 2, and then chain 1, and then 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, 2, and 3. Okay, now we're going to work here, this row right here, before we get to the cluster. So here we just do 3 double crochet, but we are going to chain 1, and we're going to work 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to chain 1. See how nicely that's beginning to look? Then we're going to go into this corner here, and we're going to chain, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. And then chain 1, and then 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. Then we're going to do 3 double crochet here, 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, and 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 3 double crochet. So you do have to be mindful of how you're doing this. 2 and 3. Okay, see it's moving along, it's getting bigger. Then you're gonna double crochet in here, 3 double crochet and chain 1 in here. So you only do the clusters at the end, and the regular ones you will not do clusters. So that's 3, chain 1, and then we work the cluster, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 2, and 3. So we're increasing here. If you notice that we're getting bigger and we're increasing. So this is going to be the last one in this row. So that's 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. Now we're going to go to that first chain that we made, and we're going to go to the third one. That's 1, 2, 3, and we're going to slip stitch in here. And where's my row? Okay, and I'm going to take the scissors and I'm going to fasten off because I've done 3 rows, and I want to do a different color. So I'm fastening it off. I am not going to weave in the ends yet. Now to start my next row, I'm going to go over here. So I'm going to show you a different view of this. Let me just stop this. So I want to show you what we did so far. So we did 3 double crochet 4 times with chain 1. Then we made the clusters. Then we did this row with the clusters, plus we worked here. Now the next row, and really you can start it at any corner. You're going to start the new color at a corner, and you're going to work the cluster, but then you're going to work 3 double crochet in this area, and then you're going to work 3 double crochet in this area, and then you're going to work the cluster. So every you do 3 double crochet and chain 1 in these areas. So every row you start increasing, and then you get more of these. So then the clusters will only be at the corner, and the the 3 double crochet chain 1s will only be here. And you're going to actually, I want to show this really, you're going to work in there. So if you look at the granny square from this level, let's take the ends off. So those are the clusters, and those are the where you're going to be working in. So my next color I'm going to be working is this one, and I'm going to do 3 rows of this. Okay, so I just made my slip knot with my new color. And I am going to work this hole over here. So I am going to slip stitch in here, got my tail, and tighten this up like that. Okay, so I have that. Now chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then 2 double crochet again, nothing new, nothing different. So 1, 2, and then chain 1, and then 2 double crochet, and then 3 double crochet. Okay, so I made my first cluster of my next row. Now I'm going to work in here and in here, and I'm going to do 3 chains. So I'm going to do, 3 double crochets. So I do chain 1, and then 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3, and then chain 1, and then 3 double crochets. Okay, so see, it's getting bigger, and I have my new row right here, so this is going to have to be worked in a few minutes, and I'm going to keep going. So chain 1, and then work the cluster, 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet. Now you should count and keep track of what it is that you're doing, because you will lose your count. So there's 3 double crochet, and go as slow as you feel comfortable. Chain 1, and then you're going to work 3 double crochet here, chain 1, and then 3 double crochet here, chain 1, 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then you can always crochet over these tails while you're working, and then weave them in later, which is what I do. And then here's one more corner. 1, 2. It's all gotten messy here. 2 and 3. Chain 1, and then 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, and then 3 double crochets, 2 and 3, chain 1, and then 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. Okay, so what you're going to do again is you're going to slip stitch on the 3rd chain from this first chain. So that's 1, 2, 3 here, and I'm going to slip stitch in here. Okay, it's harder to do standing up like this. All right. So then I got it, and here is my granny square. So let's take a look at this on the table. All right, so my granny square is growing, and I've added the new color. So I've done, in this color, I've already done row 1. I'm gonna do 2 more rows, and then I'm gonna do 3 rows of this, and then I should be done with this part of the block. So the granny square works the same thing. So you do your clusters at the corner, and then these rows, these open spaces where the chain 1 is, 1, 2, 3. So last time I did 2 chain 3 spaces. Now I'm going to do 3. I'm going to work in here, here, and here, and then work the cluster. And I'm just going to keep adding and repeating until I finish with this color. So I will have a total of 9 rows. And I want to show you how to count your row. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 4 rows so far. So I'm going to do 5 more rows. I'm going to do 2 more of this and 3 of this, and that's 5. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to fasten it off, weave in the ends, and do the sides that I'll show you. So you're going to make 2 of these. And then here, because we're going to put one on each side of the bag. Okay, so I've finished making the granny square, which is the basis of the handbag, and I'm gonna make we need to make 2 of these. So I've already made another one, and I've made one with the gussets at the side. So I just wanted to show you what that looks like. Sorry, it'll take me a minute, and I will pull this out a little bit. So I wanted to show you. Okay, so here's the gussets at the side, and so what we're going to do is we're going to decrease here. We're going to start up here. We're going to do single crochet all the way this way. From here all the way up, we're going to do single crochet down, and I'll show you that in the next panel of this video. And then we're going to single crochet all the way here, up, and then we're going to go back down again. We're going to go this way. We're going to go up. We're going to go this way and that way and up. So we have three rows on this, and then we'll have 3 rows on this one. So you want to make sure that your panels are the same, and I did look, they are the same. So once I put this on, they'll be the same size. And then when we're done with that, we're going to sew these edges together from here all the way that way. And then we're going to line this bag. So the next step will show you how to do this part. Okay, so I am going to create another slip knot like this. So here we go, and we make a nice little slip knot. And I'm going to take the corner here at the top. So you want to start right at the corner, like here at the top. And I'm going to go down all the way until I get to this corner, and I'm going to show you what you're going to do at this corner. So from here to here, we're going to just do a single crochet. So I just put the hook inside here, and I pull it up like so. Okay, and then you're going to single crochet, not double, but single crochet. Sorry, it's with my dogs. In each little hole, and you're going to just single crochet down like so. See, and I'm adding another piece, but again, we're going to leave the top alone for now. Okay, so I've come down the row, and I am going to hit my first corner at the bottom of the bag. So I'm going to I'm going to continue with the single crochet down this way until I hit my corner. So here we go, and I'm going to show you how to do the corners because you have to round those corners. So I am going to do another single crochet, single crochet, that. Okay, so here is the corner, and there's that gap that we made with the chain 1 space. Here, what you're going to do is you're going to create 3 single crochets in this one space. So that way, what you have is a rounded corner, because you want to make sure that your corners are rounded. So, so there's 1, 2, and 3. So when you come around each corner, and I'll show you when we get to the next corner, you want to make sure that you start rounding these corners so that you can start creating this bag and the gusset. So after you round the corner, you just go back and you single crochet, the next space, and then until you hit the corner. So I just want to show you, we're going to only have 2 corners to deal with, just the bottom ones, because the top, we're going to do something else with the top. I'll show you later, but you're just going to have to round the bottom corners like so. So we're going to go around 3 times here, so 3 rows. So this is our first row, so I'll show you when we get to the next corner what we do. So continue single crocheting all along here. Okay, so I've come down the row, and I am going to hit my first corner at the bottom of the bag. So I'm going to I'm going to continue with the single crochet down this way until I hit my corner. So here we go, and I'm going to show you how to do the corners because you have to round those corners. So I am going to do another single crochet, single crochet, that. Okay, so here is the corner, and there's that gap that we made with the chain 1 space. Here, what you're going to do is you're going to create 3 single crochets in this 1 space. So that way, what you have is a rounded corner, because you want to make sure that your corners are rounded. So, so there's 1, 2, and 3. So when you come around each corner, and I'll show you when we get to the next corner, you want to make sure that you start rounding these corners so that you can start creating this bag and the gusset. So after you round the corner, you just go back and you single crochet the next space, and then until you hit the corner. So I just want to show you, we're going to only have 2 corners to deal with, just the bottom ones, because the top, we're going to do something else with the top. I'll show you later, but you're just going to have to round the bottom corners like so. So we're going to go around 3 times here, so 3 rows. So this is our first row, so I'll show you when we get to the next corner what we do. So continue single crocheting all along here. Okay, so I want you to see what we did. We finished a row like so, and we added, we rounded the corners. Now we're going to continue. Now I came back up here, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back down again. And we're going to round the corners again. We're going to do single crochet, and we're going to round the corners. We're going to come back up, and then we're going to go down again, and then we're going to come back up, and that'll be 3 rows that we do. Okay, so I do want to show you that when you do the corners on the 2nd row and the 3rd row, when you do this particular corner, you want to start decreasing here. So what you want to do is you want to, I'm just going to go back a little bit. You're going to do your single crochet. So all the way down here. Now these 3 in the first row, you did 3 in the corner. For these corners, and you can rewind this a few times. Now this is just for the corner. You're going to put the hook in the loop, and you're going to put the hook in the first loop, and then you're going to do yarn over like so. And then what you're going to do is you're going to Okay, so I want to show you on the second row of doing these single crochets. When I get to this corner here, it's time to decrease these corners. So you're going to do that for row 2 and for row 3, because the first row, what you did is you put in 3 single crochets in that middle loop. This is for the corner. So what you're going to do here is you're going to go like this. You're going to put the hook in the first loop, in the first chain, and then you're going to pull up a loop like that. Then you're going to put it in the second one, and you're going to put up a loop, and then you're going to put it in the third one, and you're going to pull up a loop. So you have these 4, and then you're going to take your tail, and you're going to pull through all those loops. And so you start forming this little edge, and that's what you need for the purse, for the bag, for the end. And then you're going to just continue, and you're going to do single crochet all through the row. So if you notice here, I've got this that's kind of going like this. See, this is so that the bag at the corners starts to peek out it'll make it like a square bag. So you see this, and then I have also done here. So you might want to, I'm going to just show this to you again, but you can rewind this too. So if you go and you're single crocheting in the chains, okay, you're single crocheting in the chain like so, and then you've got the 3 that you put into this one hole over here. So you're going to take your hook, and you're going to pull it through the chain, and you're going to pull up a loop like so. You're going to take your hook, and you're going to pull it through the loop, and you're going to have this. So you'll have 3, and then you're going to pull it through one more time, and you'll have 4 on your crochet. I'm sorry about my dogs. On your crochet hook. And then you take the tail, and you pull through all the loops like so. And then you start to have this little corner edge. And then you're going to just continue, and you're going to do single crochet for the rest of the row. So when I get to the corner of this row, again, when we go back, we're going to do this. This is my row 2. You see, I've got row 1 and row 2. And I'm going to finish row 2. And then I'm going to go down again this way for row 3. And I'm going to repeat the same thing. And I will show you what that is going to be like when I come back in a minute. Okay, so I want to show you guys that I finished 2 rows here, and I'm going to go down, and I'm going to do 1 more row. And so I'm going to single crochet all the way down here, and then I'm going to decrease again at this row, and I'm going to continue to move on, and I'm going to do single crochet, decreasing here again at the end, right here. You see, so if you look, the bag is coming together because it's going in at the side. And then we're going to sew this to the neck, to a mirror piece to this. I'll talk about that in a minute. But we're going to do 1 more row down this way with just the orange. Well, the orange that I'm using. Okay, so I am going and doing the 3rd row now. And so I am single crocheting down like so. So very simple, just doing a simple single crochet and going down the row. And you see now it's getting kind of thick at the sides. And you see there's a difference between the granny square and the side of the bag. So this is going to be the side of the bag. There'll be 3 rows on one side and 3 rows on the other side. So we're going to sew these pieces together in a little while. So then we go down. We're doing single crochet, single crochet, single crochet all the way down. So I just want to take you guys, I just want to be with you until I get to the end, but at the bottom corner, and I want to show you how that's done. All right, so we're at this corner piece here. Now we're going to decrease in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. So you're going to take your crochet hook. Again, you're going to put your hook inside the chain and you're going to pull up a loop like that. You're going to put it in the hook, in the chain, the hook in the chain, and you're going to pull up a loop, and then you're going to put the hook in the chain and pull up a loop. So again, you'll have 4 chains on your crochet hook, and then you take your tail and you pull it up all through 4 like so, and again you get this nice little edge at the bottom, and you see how it's getting really big over here. This is going to be the side of your bag, and that's how you start to shape your bag at the end. So now the only thing left to do is to do one more side and then just go back all the way up to the end here. And I'll show you what the next step is after that. Okay, so I just want to show you how we're going to get to the end. Now I've done this whole bag, so I'm going to show you. I've done this whole side of the bag like this. Okay, and both of the corners at the bottom have been done. So I got this whole bag done like that. And now I'm getting to the end of this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to single crochet at the end and just bind off, cut it off. So that's what I want to show you. So you single crochet all the way to the end like this. Take each one, go into each corner like so, and then this is the last one that I have. Which is the tightest one and hardest to get into. All right, and so here we go. So that's it. And then take a pair of scissors and you're going to fasten off like that. So what I always do is when I'm going to weave in the ends, I take a needle like this, and I do it right away because that way I don't have to save it for the end. And I just put this through the needle, which I can't do when I'm on camera. So the eye of the needle is pretty big for these needles. Oh, all right, so you can mess up. It's okay. It's part of life. And I'd like to wet it with my mouth. I'm sorry. Okay, so here we go. This is the needle, and then I just take this little needle and I put it in the, very carefully, I put it in the holes like this, and I pull it through, and then I take another hole and I put it through there like that, and then take another hole and put it through there like that. So it's nice and hidden inside the holes, and then cut it off, and ta-da! So this is done. I'll have to do the same with this piece in a minute, but this is done. And so these pieces are nice and squared off at the end. So this is becoming like a really nice retro 70s kind of bag so far. If you don't like this, you can just use a solid color, or you can find other colors that you like. But I'm beginning to like this funky 70s look that I think is kind of cool for summer. Okay, so to sew this, you're going to go through both of these pieces right here with the chain. You're going to go through both, and then you're going to go through both of the first one like that. And then you're just going to sew by hand like this. Now the first piece, the first stitch, you do have that knot, so you want to make sure that the knot doesn't go through, and you're going to have to fix this a little bit later on as well. So you might need to tie another knot, make it stronger, and then weave in the ends later on. So you can just save that for later. I like to do this, to tell you the truth. I like to tie it like that. That way I know it's going to stay, and then I weave the ends in. But it's up to you how you want to do your own. And so you just get both of the pieces, both sides like this, and you just sew all along this edge like that. I like to pull tight. That's just my preference. You don't have to do it the way I do it. You can make it a little looser. If you sew differently, if you have a different stitch, you can use a different stitch. I'm not really a hand sewer, and I don't enjoy hand sewing too much, but sometimes when I have to hand sew, I will hand sew, like in this situation. And so I'm just going to go through both of the loops like that and just sew it. Now you could also crochet this. You could whip stitch this as well. I think that it's better to sew it because it stays better and it looks better sewn as far as I do it. But you could, if you prefer, you could whip stitch these pieces. So this is just like putting together two granny squares basically for a blanket, but we're doing it for a purse. And when you come to this edge as well, you just take each piece and you sew it. So we're going to sew this all around, and I'll show you what it looks like after I sew this. Okay, so I sewed the two pieces together, and so now we have the beginnings of this bag. So we have the sides here, and we have the bottom, and now the top has to be constructed. However, before we do that, the next step to this is, because this, to make a purse out of this, if you use it as a purse, things are going to fall out, and also it'll stretch too much. So the next step that I like to do is I'm going to make a lining for this, and the lining piece, I sew it. So I'm going to show you some different ways that you can line your purse. But before you line it, or while you're lining it, this is a really good time now to block it. So I do have a blocking video on my channel that you can take a look at. So I'm going to block this overnight, and in the morning I am going to work on the lining and put the lining in there. Okay, so the next step is to do the lining for the bag. So I have the bag done, and I decided I want this yellow fabric for the lining. And what I have here is 2 fat quarters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to iron it, and I'm going to sew the sides so that it fits the bag right here. So at this point you have a choice. If you want to add lining, you can sew the lining. I am not going to show how to sew the lining. I'll show you what it looks like and I'll show you what I did, but I'm not going to show you how to create the lining. But I will show you what it looks like when I get this together. Okay, so I just wanted to show you, I use my sewing machine to make this lining that I'm going to put inside my my bag. Now I took 2 fat quarters and I serged the sides, and I am going to sew the top. And after I finish sewing the top down, I'm going to put this inside the bag, and then I'm going to sew it in the bag, and I'll show you how that is done. But my next step is to sew that top part of the lining. So the lining is optional. If you don't want to do this part, you don't have to. If you don't sew, you don't have to do this. Also, you can take 2 fat quarters, cut them to the size of your bag, and you can use fabric glue to do what I'm doing instead of sewing, and it will stay as well too. So you would have to fabric glue it onto the bag. Okay, so I got the lining in the bag and I sewed this top so it's nice. It has a nice crisp edge. And like I said, you could do this with fabric glue if you don't know how to sew. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew this top to this piece. I'm going to put it under my sewing machine, and I'm just going to sew all along here. Now, if you don't have a sewing machine and you want to line this, you can use fabric glue at this point. But you have to be very careful and you have to line it up really well. So after I do this on the sewing machine, I will show you what it looks like. Okay, so the next step after you put in the lining, after I did the lining, and I wanted to show this like really closely, is to single stitch all along the this top row. Now you're going to do this for 3 rows. So this is going to be the first row, and then when I get to the end of this first row, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so now we're going to do get ready to put the handles on. So I've gone ahead and did a single crochet around 3 rows of this bag, and you see here it looks just like that. So now I'm going to get ready to put the handles on. So I'm marking 3 inches from the side of where I'm going to put my marks, and I am going to half double crochet all along here, and I'm going to half double crochet 5 rows. So I'll just show you this. Okay, so I am going to find 3 inches. That's 1, 2, 3. 3 inches. And right there, and I'm going to put my marker here, like so, just at the edge. Okay, so now I can get ready to half double crochet on my piece here. So what I want to do is I want to take the regular orange again when I'm going to half double crochet. Okay, so could we see here? I'm just trying to find the best way that you guys can see this. So here I have my markers right here. So I'm going to half double crochet from here all the way here. And I put these stitch markers so that I know what I'm doing. All right, so I did fasten off when I did the 3 rows. And so I'm going to start a new row where the stitch marker is. And I'm going to half double crochet now. You have to do them separately for each side. So here, I just put that in there. So this is a half double crochet. Just go all the way across to where okay, so now I've started this half double crochet. So I'm going to do this for 5 rows. All right, so I'm just going to repeat this a little bit. So this is my second row, and so when you get to the end of the row, you're just going to do your last half double crochet. Like so, and then chain 1 and then turn. So this is my second row. I'm going to do a total of 5, so I'm going to do 3 more. Okay, so actually I did 6 rows, and I'll put that in the description later when I give you the pattern, only because my handle here is too thick for the 5 rows that I wanted to do. So this is going to be the insert for the handle. So I am going to put the handle in this way, and you have to line it up nice and good. And what you do here is very carefully and with a lot of precision, you sew this first row down into the handle so it stays nice and taut like that. So you have to sew it pretty well, and you may have to sew it more than 1 row. So I take my needle, and which I can't find right now, but I know it's around here. And oh, here it is. So it's just with your regular thread that you used for your crocheting. So this is the part where you have to really, I don't like this part too much because I have to hand sew and I hate hand sewing, but it is an important step, and I may have to tie some ends in. And because I don't want the knot to be on the front side, I will take my needle and just go very carefully in like this. So you don't want to put it in too much. And then I'm going to do a second one and make a nice little tight row like that. And then I just will sew straight along this edge like that. So I'm going inside the chains when I'm sewing. And this is just a really easy sewing hack. Really, this is not something you want to do on the sewing machine. If you're really good with the sewing machine, you can. I don't feel comfortable putting this through the sewing machine. I usually just put it through the sewing machine when I have some fabric that I can use, but I don't just put straight crochet stitches through the sewing machine. I have never seen anybody that did that, but if you know how to do it and you're really skilled, that might work for you. But this is what I'm going to do for this. So I may have to take another row. I may have to do another row just to tighten these stitches, because this is going to be the handle of the bag, and the bag has to stay nice and tight. So this is a critical point for you when you're putting together this this handle part. So I have a little ways to go, and I am going to weave in the ends at the end of this process after I finish this bag. And I'm almost done, and I'm excited because I'm going to give this as a gift, and I want to get this in the mail by Saturday. Today is Thursday, so I would like to take this to the post office on Saturday. Okay. All right, so I'm at the end, and I'm just gonna try this out like that. So this is what the handle is gonna look like, if you can see that. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side and weave in the ends, and I'm done. But you want to make sure that, you know, it's a nice tight fit. You want to secure the edges sorry, very well, so that you don't have a lot of problems with your bag. So I have some finishing thoughts about the lining for those of you who don't sew. So it is very easy to use a really good strong fabric glue. I suggest Gutterman, and I've put that on the link. So you can cut the fabric to the size of the bag that you make, and you can glue the pieces together and put it inside the bag and sew the top. You can do that very easily, hand sew the top, or you can hand sew the whole piece by yourself. So you have some options, or you can definitely leave it unlined if it's too much of a problem for you to try to line it. This will hold its own because of the sugar and cream yarn, that sugar and cream that I showed you at the beginning of the video. This yarn is like really, really sturdy, and it's a cotton yarn, and it's really good. So if you don't want to line it, don't worry. And also there are some tips that I have for you if you can't line it, but you don't want anything falling out of the holes. You can get like an already made tote that's about the size of this tote and put it in. So sometimes you get free totes given to you by companies, and you can definitely put that tote inside this tote, and that'll kind of give it a little sturdiness for you. So sometimes places give free canvas totes, and you may be able to find a canvas tote like at a place like Dollar Tree, and you can actually tuck it into the bag and use that. Just take off the handles and then sew the tote around there. So if you don't know how to sew a tote, it's very easy. Or you can even do this with a plastic bag and line it with a plastic bag. You know, those market bags that you get, the plastic bags, you can put that in there and then just sew the top. And it's, you know, it's not like you're going to sell it or anything like that. So it'll be really easy. If this is, you know, if the lining is very difficult for you. Okay, so I I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope you make it. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will have more projects like this. And if you make this, and please put your comments about the tote in my comment box below. I'd like to hear from you how I'm doing with teaching the tutorials. I'm always trying to improve my videos, so I'd really love to hear your feedback and what you think. And if you create this tote and you have some questions, please leave them note in my comment sections. I will get back to you. And I will have another crochet project for June, which is going to be a really fun one. I'm already starting it. I'll see you then for this project. Created by Lady T. Give me a thumbs up.